Join us right here on CVM TV every Sunday during news at 7 as we explore the people, the science, and the breakthroughs that are shaping the way we grow, eat, and live. You don't want to miss it. This is Farming Forward.
So, the issue of Northwest Clarendon and whether or not the JLP will have a candidate going forward come election day, they've gone a far way towards settling that the party has with the selection of Warren Newby coming out of a selection contest held on Sunday. But that's not the final stamp of approval that Newby needs. The party's Central Executive and Selection Committee have to sign off on that for him to step forward to represent them come election day. Also in the program this evening, the issue of water and whether or not it is safe to drink the water in the Kingston and St. Andrew metropolitan area. The PNP have been messaging saying that there are issues concerning water quality. The National Water Commission is saying nothing to see here, that there is no truth to the claims. We present you the very latest in this issue of the safe nature of the water quality in the corporate area. Lead story starts now. Happy Monday to you wherever you are watching this story on this day. My name is George Davis. Welcome to the program. So a couple of things to deal with on this Monday evening. The first one concerns the politics because Northwest Clarendon is a seat that the JLP have a vacancy in. The man who won the election for them on September 3, 2020 in that general election, Philip Enriquez, he has said, he's a businessman, he of course says that he has no interest in going for a second consecutive term. He's done with representational politics for the time being. That meant there was a vacancy to be filled, and on Sunday, the JLP had a selection contest to determine who will carry its flag come election day in that constituency. 3 men went to the post: Dr. Clovis Nelson, a US-based educator; Warren Newby, a former government senator; and young Corey Dunkley, an attorney with deep roots in the constituency. It was a race among 3. How did that race pan out?
Former Senator Warren Newby emerged victorious in the Jamaica Labour Party's internal selection on Sunday, securing the party's nomination as candidate for Northwest Clarendon in the upcoming general election. The election was held to select a successor for Member of Parliament Philip Enriquez, who will not be seeking re-election. Delegates from all 4 divisions of the constituency cast their votes, with Newby triumphing by a significant margin. He garnered 68% of the votes, while his main competitor Corey Dunkley received 30% of the votes. Dr. Clovis Nelson, another contender, garnered just 1% votes. Newby's victory comes as the Jamaica Labour Party seeks to maintain its hold on the seat in the face of competition from the People's National Party (PNP), whose candidate for the upcoming election will be Richard Arson. The general election, which is constitutionally due before September 2025, will see Newby and Arson go head-to-head in what is expected to be a highly contested race. With Enriquez stepping down after serving as a sitting Member of Parliament, Newby now faces the challenge of maintaining the JLP's political influence in the area, a challenge that Newby accepts as he plans to unite supporters.
My team is saying to me that our canvas has held, and based on that we are expecting to win. We are prepared for both set of circumstances. If we lose, the word is still unity. If we win, the word is still unity. We are very focused on the real challenge, and that is to ensure that our party is returned to a third term in office.
The internal election comes as the Jamaica Labour Party continues to settle its candidates. Newbie is the latest with the JLP confirming Delroy Williams for Central Clarendon just a few weeks ago. We discuss on Lead Story. Courtney Lewis for Lead Story.
All right, so Warren Newby, his name is on the sheet, and it is subject to the approval of the JLP Central Executive and Selection Committee to have him go forward as a candidate in waiting come election day. We take a break. When we come back, we pick that story up, and we also deal with matters concerning water safety.
Time of year again to shop amazing deals at Maxi Kingston's annual spring sale. Shop now and save up to 80% off store-wide on clothing, shoes, home decor, and accessories. Shop with us from March 24th to the 29th at our Springs Plaza or Red Hills Road location. See you soon. Conditions apply.
Recycling partners of Jamaica, yeah, we got to make a change, and we have to do it now, can't wait for later. We put plastic in its place, and we all can agree that will be safer than in the gullies and in the drains. Recycling partners of Jamaica, we put plastic in its place, yeah, the place have to clean. PET, the top of the ethylene, HDPE, buckle up against screen. Baby to granny, everybody roping, yeah, we got to go green, you know what I mean. See the sign from the bin, if we drop it in through car window, you flick, that another thing. And we don't want no garbage in this game. No, we handle it up, but them are not the same. So listen up, Jamaica, I'm saying it's time to make a change. Recycling partners of Jamaica, we put plastic in its place, and we all can agree that will be safer than in the gullies in the heavy rains. Recycling partners of Jamaica, we put plastic in its place.
Back with us on Lead Story. So politics is what we pivoted from in the opening part of the show, but we're just going to deal with matters concerning water right now because our guest is available now, may not be available later, and he can only spare us a short time. Delana Williams is the Acting Public Relations Manager at the National Water Commission. Good evening, Delana.
Hi, thank you for having me, George.
Thank you for sparing time. We know it was at very short notice. I really appreciate it. So this issue, we've seen a series of press releases concerning the safety of the water in the corporate area. Concerns have, well, the statements have suggested that there are concerns among residents about the safety of the water that they're drinking and using for their daily life, and that the NWC is being called upon to speak about the integrity of the water treatment process it uses, the issues that have abounded that gave rise to the press releases, and for the Jamaican people to be subject to the full disclosure of the Commission about the safety of the water. The NWC has responded. What is the Commission's response?
So we're basically refuting any claim that the water is not safe simply because of the steps that we take to assure that what is being distributed to customers, in fact, is safe for consumption and use. Now, I want to put that in the context, George, of the fact that there are a number of systems, especially in the rural areas, which will provide with risk and challenges. And so the report, as we presented it to the KSAMC, does reflect the realities that there are times when human practices, farming practices, and so on, will reflect changes in the water quality, both at the source and also put a risk along the network. Now, what is important is what the NWC has done and continues to do. Now, we want to, for instance, give a quick definition.
Yes.
The report or the videos you would have been seeing talks about fecal coliform, but there is no reading of that nature reflecting. What we present to the KSAMC is total coliform, which is a large group of bacteria commonly found in the environment, in the soil, in vegetation, and so on. And they may not pose a direct health risk. Now, once we get any kind of readings for coliform, we do a further intensive test to check for fecal coliform, right? And we are not getting any of those kind of readings at all, right? Over the last February and in January's reading showed 2 instances where there were of 208 samples where we saw an adverse reading. In February, there were 6 instances out of 311. What we do immediately is to shut the system down, or we localize the area, we sterilize, we retest, so the customer is not at risk. When you look at a reading, you would get the impression that it's a continuous issue for a month. That is not the case.
Yes.
These are instances where a farmer or runoff water or so may cause an adverse reading. And what I'm saying is that we take immediate steps to treat with those.
So stick up
guarantee the safety.
So stick up in here, Delano. Let me see if I can help the viewers to even better understand what you're explaining. And you're clear, well, at least to me, what you're explaining. So you're saying that when samples are taken, and say for instance 300 samples are taken, and if 6 of those samples return adverse findings, you're saying that this is not abnormal for so many samples, for among so many samples, a batch, for there to be a few where there are adverse readings. Am I hearing you correctly?
We're saying that when they're abnormal, we treat with them immediately.
Yeah. But the greater point, Delano, is this, because I want people to get it. It's not that a batch of samples taken, and again I'm using 300 as an arbitrary number. So 300 samples taken, it is not abnormal for even 1 or 2 or 3 of the readings to come out adverse. It's not abnormal for that to happen.
No.
Okay. No. And you're saying that once you get abnormal readings, your protocol dictates that you do what?
We shut the system down. We do what is called a sterilization of the network. We retest before we restart the operations.
And so an abnormal reading at a snapshot in time does not mean that the water has been bad for an extended period of time. You're saying it just means that that moment when the sample was taken, there was an adverse situation.
Indeed, right? Give you an instance. So recently, just on the weekend, there was an issue where we got an abnormal reading at the rear Cobra system.
Yes.
And at the intake, I might add, which means that before it even got into the facility, we take that sample, which is one of about 2,000 samples that we take on a monthly basis. We immediately shut down our intake operations, so there was no poor quality water coming into the facility.
And the rigorous nature of your monitoring of your samples, does that dictate that as soon as an abnormal reading is detected, that your protocols kick in, or is there a lag between when the sample is taken for you to then examine the samples, find that there's one abnormal, and then the protocols kicking in? How long does it take for the protocols to kick in the event of an abnormal reading?
Immediately. We're looking at within the same 12, 24-hour window. What we do, secondly, George, is we don't just rely on our readings. So that is why, for instance, the whole issue of the boil water advisory, because we also we don't allow, our regulator is the Ministry of Health and Wellness. They take their own independent samples, and so they base any determination in terms of water quality on those samples that they take. And that is why we're saying they too have not found any adverse readings or situations that warrant boil water advisory.
Yeah.
And we are operating as best as we can. We take recommendations
Yes.
going forward, but what we have in front of us is the immediate steps that we take following the protocols that we have in place.
So I heard you say just now that the Ministry of Health is your regulator, not the Office of Utilities Regulation, OUR?
For water quality, the Ministry of Health. For overall standards, the
Yes.
OUR, matters relating to billing and so on,
Yes.
they approve tariffs. But in terms of water quality standards, operations with wastewater and so on, the Ministry of Health is also a regulator.
So, Delano, for those who may have come in late and would not have understood the issue from the very top, what would have given rise to this series of press releases from the opposition spokesman on water and his junior spokesman? Was it a report to the KSAMC about water quality at a point in time?
So we present, as a means of full disclosure, we present the full facts. On any given day, we take our reports. On some days, we may get adverse readings because of the reality of rural systems with runoff farming practices and slash and burn activities. We disclose that. However, looking at it in isolation would be erroneous. Secondly, what is being touted in the public is that the report is showing fecal coliform. That is not the case. It reports on just general natural occurring bacteria. We test separately for fecal, and we are not getting those results as are being, what is being presented is not fecal.
Mm-hmm. And have the spokespersons from the opposition reached out to the NWC directly? Have you sent any communication to them, or are you communicating to them through the public?
Well, we would have attended the last council meeting. We are looking forward to further dialogue.
And by council, you mean KSAMC?
KSAMC, we continue to participate in the meetings that we are invited to.
So a resident, Delano, as we wrap, from the corporate area, and I note the spokesman's statement said most of those affected are from lower income communities. A person listening from anywhere in the corporate area, wondering, is my water safe for drinking, bathing, and cooking? Your response to that is what?
Yes, it is safe. And on the merit of the steps that we take, both to source the water at best quality and to respond in instances where any adverse situation would pose a risk to the quality of water that we're distributing. So again, we're not saying water may not have challenges. What we're saying is we are prepared and have been dealing with them, and we continue to implement new steps to treat with the issues that may arise.
Excellent. Thank you for your time this evening, Delano. Much appreciated.
Thank you, sir.
Delano Williams there. He's the acting corporate public relations manager at the National Water Commission, trying to resolve, in the public's mind at least, whether or not their water is safe for consumption. He says, yes, the water is safe because of the activities that the NWC engages in when they get any readings from their sampling, ongoing sampling, any readings that are abnormal, he says, protocol kicks in and the NWC addresses those in swift time. That's what the NWC is saying. Break. Back with more on Lee's story after this.
Excuse me, that looks delicious. Where did you get that pizza?
Pizza, please. Best pizza in town.
Pizza Please, the widest variety of pizzas in Jamaica. Grab a slice or order a whole pie. Find us at 4 locations across Kingston and Ocho Rios and at pizzapleaseja.com. Pizza Please, Italian pizzas, Jamaican flavors.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. We've got everything, stocking top brands like CNC, Philips, and Allen Bradley. We guarantee quality and reliability. Shop with us and save with even free island-wide delivery. Conditions apply. Visit us at Shop 8 Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in electrical business.
Waterhouse have slipped out of the top 6 but a win last time out against Vere has them dreaming of a playoff spot again. They face the once mighty Harborview in Monday match night on CVM TV. Kickoff is at 7:45 p.m. Drewsland Mini Stadium plays host to this battle of former Premier League powerhouses, Waterhouse and Harborview, Monday, March 24 at 7:45 p.m.
Monday match night, powered by Sunshine Snacks and ABC Electrical.
Back with us on At Least. So just to finish up this issue concerning the NWC, the statement from the Commission reads thus. The Commission says that it's actually a statement from the JLP, the ruling JLP. It says a claim by the PNP spokesman Ian Hales, Jesse James, that water being distributed by the NWC in Kingston and St. Andrews contaminated is false, irresponsible and reckless. So this is a political statement. This is the heights of the political season. So the JLP blasting the PNP for what it says are false, reckless, irresponsible claims about water safety. Spokesman for the JLP, Senator Marlon Morgan, said it's unfortunate the PNP's repeated the false allegations despite clear statement from the NWC last Friday, which indicated that the Commission stands firmly behind the integrity, safety and the quality of the water supply to households across the nation, which is subject to rigorous testing. Now, beyond that statement, we just had the NWC's spokesman speaking on behalf of the Commission, Delana Williams, to say that there is nothing to fret about where the quality of the water provided to residents in the corporate area is concerned. He says it's safe, and he says that the NWC's protocols, which identify and deal with instances where there is an abnormality in the quality of the water, he says those protocols kicked in and do kick in whenever time there is an issue to resolve. All right, so that's settled as far as we're concerned. Just a little bit on the politics in the last few minutes we have on this show. So we did tell you that Warren Newby has won that selection exercise. There were three men in the race for the right to represent the JLP in Northwest Clarendon. Newby topped the field. 389 votes is what he got, and he goes forward now to be recommended to the party's central executive as the JLP standard bearer in Northwest Clarendon. Newby beating Corey Dunkley, a young attorney from Northwest Clarendon, and Dr. Clovis Nelson, diaspora activist and an educator in the United States. What I can say is that Northwest Clarendon is a very competitive seat, and it's usually one to watch on election night. The JLP have a long history of success in the seat, but the PNP have also had their own success in Northwest Clarendon over time. Northwest Clarendon is one of the original constituencies, first contested after universal adult suffrage in Jamaica in 1944. First time Northwest Clarendon was contested, it was won by the PNP, Delroy Lindo winning the seat on that occasion. Alphonsus Malcolm won for the JLP in 1949, and Edwin Allen, the outstanding former educator. Now, of course, Edwin Allen is a legend in that part of Jamaica, in that part of Clarendon. He was, of course, the first education minister in Jamaica after independence, and he's on record as being the longest serving minister of education, and he was outstanding as a politician as well. And history shows that Edwin Allen lived and contributed so much to politics. He retired in 1983 from politics, and he went home the next year in 1984. Didn't live long after retiring from the political cut and thrust. So it's his old seat that the PNP will be trying to wrest from the JLP. Richard Azan is the PNP's man in Northwest Clarendon. He has already served as Member of Parliament, winning that seat in 2011 at the election then, and he is sitting in wait, or lying in wait, sitting in wait, standing in wait to face more than likely Newby at the next election for the JLP. So that's a seat that will be keenly fought on election night. it is not a safe seat by any stretch of the imagination. Both parties will have to fight tooth and nail to get home in it. And here is Newby. There's Corey Dunkley, the youngster, only 31 years old, a whippersnapper. So politically, his time will come. That's a shot of Dr. Andrew Wheatley, the Deputy General Secretary in the JLP, who was managing the administrative side of the vote, and critical to the JLP in the seat, critical to both of the two big guns where the political parties are concerned. Unity in Northwest Clarendon. It follows that after almost every selection exercise, those whose candidate lost the selection exercise feel bruised and feel that perhaps the party should not have even gone that route. Among the early things being said about Newby is that, look, he shouldn't have even been brought into the selection race in the first place because he's not from Northwest Clarendon. That Dunkley's family, who have strong roots in the constituency, he's the one who the JLP should have given the seat to. That was the reasoning from some of the Dunkley supporters. But the Newby supporters can say, well, look, the man who is from there and the man who's not from there but who was parachuted into here, they were put before the delegates, and Newby was overwhelmingly the choice of delegates. So the argument should rest there and Unity 2 should follow. That's how it is on paper, but that's not how it is in real terms. And there's a job for the JLP to do there to settle Northwest Clarendon behind Warren Newby as he goes forward to face Richard Azan in a very, very tough contest for a seat inside Gordon House. All right? That's our time for this evening. Lead story. I want to say thanks to my producer and my collaborators and all of the technical team that work on the show, and bidding you farewell until Tuesday. The news at 7 is up next.
In a world where innovation meets tradition, agriculture is evolving like never before. From the latest sustainable farming technologies to age-old practices passed down through generation, agriculture is
precious to me.
I love the animals. I don't mind getting my hands dirty. I love working.
Join us right here on CVM TV every Sunday during news at 7 as we explore the people, the science, and the breakthroughs that are shaping the way we grow, eat, and live. You don't want to miss it. This is Farming Forward.
We are back for season 2 of Corner Office. We are highlighting small businesses, hard-working Jamaicans who are doing their own thing in their own spaces. People who are in their role, bossing up their role.
Let's go!
Let's get it! It's not if you own the company or not, it's how you own the role. Ice cream is coming. Guess what? It is your Corner Office. Season 2, bigger and better. And guess what? You think it's not yet? Check it out. Put the end of the place. Undercover. Easy yourself.
Songwriters, producers, this is your chance to write your name into Jamaica's rich music history and also win $3 million cash in the JCDC Festival Song Competition. And it's now so easy to enter because what? We gone digital. It's all online. Just log on to jcdc.gov.jm, fill in the form online and upload your entry. Closing date has been extended to March 31. Enter now.
Waterhouse have slipped out of the top 6, but
are on CVM television.
Open a Sagicor Bank savings account from anywhere. Go online and open yours today.
The time by Sagicor Bank is
7 o'clock.
tonight in CVM News at 7, St. James High back in the news again after Monday morning lockout. PNP eyes come back in St. Thomas. Elderly arson victim seeks help to rebuild. In the business report, it's small biz, big dreams. And in sports, the Premier League houses battle in Monday match night. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7, an abbreviated edition to make way for CVM's Monday match night. It's March 24, 2025. I'm Nika Lewis. Thanks so much for having joined us. Now to this CVM News update. Following recent uproar at the St. James High School just weeks ago, students and staff turned up to another surprise this morning. To tell us more, here's Trisha Gay Kelly in studio.
Well, the St. James High School has made the headlines yet again, with even more tension at the school now than before. And this morning, classes were dismissed early when some of the staff and students could not access the compound. Our news team spoke exclusively with the school's principal today.
The plot thickens at the St. James High School as some students and staff lingered on the outskirts of the compound Monday morning, where they encountered a padlocked gate. Merely weeks ago, the school's principal, Joseph Williams, and board chairman, Christopher McCurdy, were caught in a heated confrontation, which led to classes being dismissed for the day. But Principal Williams says Monday's action is seemingly the result, following no updates after the last meeting.
What happened is a reaction to the fact that the ministry and National Council has not done what they said they would do, that they would appoint new members for the board.
At the time of the incident, the Education and Youth Ministry vowed to intervene, and indeed, they had meetings with the school's board and staff members.
It's unfortunate when it seeps into the leadership of our schools, but we're going to have to deal with it, and we are dealing with it quite strongly and frontally, and we're even looking at our regulations to look at how we can change those to ensure that if there are any issues in a school, that there is more latitude for us to act.
But it seems the ministry's intervention was not enough. It remains unclear at this time who closed the school's gate.
The chairman is the same thing. Nothing was done. The last meeting, there was an assurance that, okay, it's obvious that there is no unity can go on, so they would change those members who were there. It was communicated to all the members of the different groups on the board, and so obviously they have reacted to it.
Data are here to show what we are doing for a half-day school, 4 hours per session. For a half-day school, I've been doing well, and Mr. Williams come and turn around the school. And these people want to use the politics they want to use to mess the school up. But we're not going to stand for that.
Classes were reportedly dismissed early and transitioned online for the remainder of the day. Trisha Gay Kelly, CVM News.
Rather interesting piece of information there. But Trisha Gay, I gather you have some updates since the padlocking?
Yes, we do. Actually, so the school's gate was allegedly locked by parents, and they say some staff members who were not pleased, past students who were not pleased with what was happening at the school. And apparently it's coming off the reactions from what happened in the last meeting and them not being satisfied with what came out of it, because they were expecting the ministry to do some more intervention, which did not come to fruition. So this is their reaction to that.
All right. I gather you'll be following this up as well.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Trisha Gay. One person was shot and injured this morning near the Malines Road and Washington Boulevard intersection in capital city Kingston. Though some feared the victim had died, police had not confirmed this up to news time. The incident caused major traffic disruptions mid-morning, leaving several motorists frustrated. A nearby parked vehicle was also struck by bullets during the shooting. Attempts to get a comment from the St. Andrews South Police were unsuccessful, but we'll of course continue to track that story. Well, in the political arena, and perhaps not yet, Opposition junior spokesperson on health, Jesse James Clark, claims that the country's corporate area water is unsafe for use. The NWC has since responded. Speaking on CVM's lead story a few minutes ago, NWC Public Relations Specialist Delano Seawright denied those claims. He was on the program, highlighting the concerns by the government and by the entity.
Best quality and to respond in instances where any adverse situation would pose a risk to the quality of water that we're distributing. So again, we're not saying water may not have challenges. What we're saying is we are prepared and have been dealing with them, and we continue to implement new steps to treat with the issues that may arise.
Ano Williams of the NWC. Meanwhile, the Jamaica Labour Party now knows its candidate for a Clarendon seat in the upcoming general elections. The party conducted its internal poll on Sunday, where a first-timer bagged the win over his two competitors. Trisha Gay Kelly has this report.
Who's ready to represent the Jamaica Labour Party in the upcoming general elections. Warren Newby emerged victorious in the recent JLP internal poll in northwest Clarendon, where he challenged Corey Dunkley, also a first-timer, and Dr. Clovis Nelson. Newby says it's an honor to be chosen to represent the people.
I'm satisfied that my team has prevailed today. And we are very heartened by the support that we have gotten. We are humbled by it, and we are going to use this momentum to propel us forward as we organize the seat for the general elections.
The MP aspirant is familiar with politics, being a former senator and campaign manager for various JLP MPs. It's one of the reasons his fellow members believe he is most suitable.
He's no stranger to politics. He has the experience, and with that wealth of experience, that is what we need in Northwestern Clarendon at this time. And so we give him our full support. The Thompson Town division, I promised him that it will deliver, and we did. Our quota was about 110. We got 91 to 24 there, so it's an overwhelming majority that he would have received there. And so I am here to work with him, and we will turn Northwestern Clarendon in a safe seat.
Newby won with a whopping 68% of the votes, doubling Dunkley's 30% and Dr. Nelson's 1%. Maypen Mayor Joel Williams says this addition to the Clarendon team will bolster their efforts for a clean sweep at the polls.
We're getting in Warren somebody with a vast amount of experience. I can assure you that the 5 seats presently will be retained by the Jamaica Labour Party. It's going to be a formidable team for the parish of Clarendon, and I'm expecting that the Labour Party, whenever time the Prime Minister calls an election, will once again sweep the parish of Clarendon.
Trisha Gay Kelly, CVM News.
Still on politics, the People's National Party brought its campaign team to Western St. Thomas in support of candidate Hubert Williams. Recently, however, it was Councillor hopeful Kimberly Thompson who set the tone, criticizing the JLP and calling for change. Ramon Gordon has that story.
It was a night of political fire and fierce determination as the People's National Party brought its full machinery to Western St. Thomas, rallying support behind candidate Hubert Williams. But it was councillor candidate for the Trinityville division Kimberly Thompson who lit the flame.
This morning while we were setting up, them send out them hoodlums to come and cut down the PNP things. So tonight I am here to say to James Robertson and the Jamaica Labour Party in this constituency, mercy that we never confronted you, but it's not because we're afraid of you. We never did it because we are from St. Thomas, and when bad things happen, and we see our family members, they might get hurt.
In a stinging address, Thompson accused MP James Robertson of enabling violence and interfering with police operations.
We apologize for the audio quality there, but a Central Kingston, Jamaica Labour Party youth meeting unearthed some not-so-new criticisms of the People's National Party's contribution to the 2025-2026 budget debates. They are once again saying the PNP has no plans for Jamaica. Courtney Lewis tells us more.
Hot off the heels of the Prime Minister's contribution, the JLP is just not letting up on the PNP's economic proposals. The Labour Party says the PNP is unoriginal and only plans to tax more Jamaicans should they become the government.
The Jamaica Labour Party is doubling down on their critique of the People's National Party budget presentation. Government Senator Abka Fitz-Henley accused the PNP of plagiarizing the Prime Minister's plans.
And I hear a man talking about the 4 E's. That's the opposition spokesman on finance. And I said, hold on, that sounds familiar. Because in 2012, none other than Dr. Holness put forward the idea of the 4 E's, 4 pillars to move Jamaica forward.
He says the only real plan the PNP has is causing more strain on Jamaicans, alluding to proposed food import taxes.
Are not the same. They believe in taxing the Jamaican people. We believe in empowering the people, putting more money back into your pockets, because we understand that is how you improve lives and that is how you grow a market economy. It cannot be about taxing the Jamaican people. Taxes, taxes, taxes. That cannot be the way forward.
Mayor Richard Vernon also echoed the sentiments of the Prime Minister that the country's economic downturn was a consequence of FinSAC under PNP administration.
Because FinSAC was instituted or established, it cost us 40% more to pay back the debts, the money that we borrowed for many years from the IMF and other financial.
The onslaught of the PNP's perceived successes continued.
Work too hard. Come with so much good plans to allow them to come and cut ribbon. And then they want to say, oh, we did this and you did nothing.
Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
CVM News at 7 continues after this break.
Live life your way, no free rewards. Digital postpaid. With Digital postpaid, it's all about you. Sign up or pay your bills to stay active for a chance to win a luxurious all-expense paid trip for 2 to Royalton, Antigua. With round-trip flights on us. Every week you could win exciting prizes. Event tickets, gym memberships, spa packages, excursion adventures, restaurant vouchers, and more. When you opt in on the My Digicel app, life your way starts now. With Digicel, better connected.
You ever get bun yet? Me not talk about heartbreak. Me a talk about the bun with full of spice, raisins, and the perfect glaze.
Bun for bun.
So you do it now.
You have to get bun.
This Easter, you have to get bun from Mother's Bakery.
Waterhouse have slipped out of the top 6, but a win last time out against Vere has them dreaming of a playoff spot again. They face the once mighty Harbourview in Monday match night on CVM TV. Kickoff is at 7:45 p.m. Drewsland Mini Stadium plays host to this battle of former Premier League powerhouses, Waterhouse and Harbourview, Monday, March 24 at 7:45 p.m.
Monday Match Night, powered by Sunshine Snacks and ABC Electrical.
Welcome back. It's that time when we welcome the man of sports, Jordan Fort, for a preview.
Well, of course, Nika, you know that there's Monday Match Night tonight. Powerhouses, Harbourview and Waterhouse, not necessarily playing like powerhouses right now,
okay,
but that's a traditional battle, a big battle in Monday Match Night. So we'll have that coming up at 7:45. We'll give you a preview. Plus, Champ starts tomorrow.
It does.
And you know that the resurfacing of the National Stadium track is also a hot topic. We have the Sports Minister talking about that and whether everything will be on track for Champs. And I hope that didn't inspire your outfit choice tonight.
Maybe it did.
But those are what we'll have as the top items in sports tonight.
All right, thank you so much. Hope that didn't inspire anything either. So, with that, we go to our story of the evening. Tonight, we hear that an elderly man who once made an honest living is struggling to survive after losing everything in a tragic fire. Lost without a home or means to rebuild, he's making a desperate appeal for help. Shante McNeil has that story. We apologize for that insert, but we take a break. We'll be right back.
Attention motorists, it's time to switch to the T-Tag on Trans-Jam highways. Our automated T-Tag lanes reduce the cost of managing cash at our toll plazas, and drivers of Class 1 and 2 vehicles who use the T-Tag pay a lower toll fare than those who use the manually operated toll booths. They also get their 10th trip through any toll plaza free. The T-Tag makes it quicker, more cost-efficient, and safer for our customers. So switch to the T-Tag today and experience the convenience. T-Tag packages are discounted to only $1,500, including a $500 toll credit from now until March 31st.
As promised, there is an appeal from an elderly man who is now seeking not just a place to live, but any support you can render after losing it all in a fire last year. You'll make way for Shante McNeil in this report.
It's been exactly 8 months since Kendrick Simpson lost his 33-year-old son, Ken Roy, in one of the most unimaginable ways a father could endure. According to him, Ken Roy was chopped and set ablaze in their one-bedroom house in Captureland in Lioneltown, Clarendon. It was a fire that not only took his son, but also destroyed the only place he had ever called home. For some, grief would have started to ease by now, but for Mr. Simpson, the pain is still fresh. The memory made all the more unbearable by the fact that he has no place to call his own. The reminder of the tragedy that turned his life upside down. He told CVM News he found refuge in a neighbor's home only to be later asked to leave.
In that period of time, when I would get a cat, a old man would live over that house and give me a catch. But the old man take bush and go where them can find him. The owner for the house now come and send a lady to me and tell me that me come out of the place for his son rent the place. So I didn't come out at the said time, and he come back another week and tell me said time. And when I come out now, I just have to walk and I cut a paper place and all and that type of thing.
Though life wasn't always like this for the elderly man who once earned a living selling coal, his tools, his belongings, and everything he worked for went up in smoke, and replacing them has become an impossible task, adding more stress to an already harsh situation.
I be a situation, and sometimes when I get up and my head coming like when a man drink from an attacker. So the stress and thing by the family. When I tell some people, them say, me nothing matter about the youth, where they done gone, so I'm gone already. So all me can do is get back a roof over my head.
The land he says he bought years ago from a friend now stands barren except for remnants of charred zinc. And despite seeking help from local authorities, Mr. Simpson's needs are great. High on his list, a home.
They make a praise. I'm badly in need now. I need a house. And I'm looking for even the Prime Minister to give me help to get a roof back over my head. But I have nowhere to go.
Anyone willing to assist can donate to Mr. Simpson by calling 876-839-1316. Shante McNeil, CVM News.
And it's now time for Small Biz, Big Dreams with Adrian Williams, where he shows what a group of marketing students organized and showcased at their Brand Expo.
Last week, we highlighted marketing seminar students at the University of Technology and their Brand Expo plans. Well, today, we take you to the day of the happenings. This is Small Biz, Big Dreams.
And we're here at Brand Expo, a seminar event where we're showcasing a variety of brands, sponsors, and exhibitors. And our theme is Vision to Victory, celebrating brand success. And you know, that's a literal thing for us because we're celebrating the success of marketing students in the 43rd annual group of seminar students. It's really amazing, and we're excited to be here to interact with students, patrons, and all the works.
Separate from their title sponsor, 77, along with other notable brands, the Brand Expo made room for small businesses such as this business seeking to help mentor and coach young entrepreneurs.
We are actually a non-profit organization, Young Women and Men of Purpose. We do entrepreneurship training and support, as well as career development for young people right across Jamaica. We're also promoting our brand water called Clear Purpose Spring Water. Its proceeds go back into the organization to help us do this work across the country. So we have made by handmade resin. Otherwise, we're going to Sale is perfectly fine. It's very, very good so far, and I know I'll get a lot more customers throughout the end of the segment.
We are an online-based skincare company that offer luxury skincare products that smell amazing and do work for the body. The sale is going on fine so far. The morning session of it is okay, so I'm waiting to see what the evening session has to offer. The team reached out to us and asked if we could sponsor the event, and having heard what it was all about and the whole thought process behind it, we decided to jump on the initiative so that we could come and support with our 360 photo booth today.
Now, what you see here may actually seem like cocktail beverages, but they are actually Dr. Navita Sutherland Vassiana's signature cocktail candles, coming in 4 scents you may just love for their unique aroma. Exhibitors also got a chance to go up on stage to promote their brands, like Mrs. Andrea Walker Jackson, owner for Valentine's Intimate, promoting appropriate brassiere wear.
The wire should be behind the breast tissue. A lot of women, you have been having that underwire rest on your breast tissue, and over time, you're actually damaging your breast tissue and you're starting to separate the tissue because it's soft, so you have to stop doing that.
Good guidance is a part of the process for the marketing seminar students, but just how is one facilitator feeling about it this year?
We're having a very good turnout right now. As you can see, we have students here. We have various staff members here. We have persons from even the outside coming in to find out what's going on the campus. So we're pretty pleased with what we're seeing.
The activities don't stop there, as there will be the Miss UTech pageant on March 29 under the theme Unmasking the Queen, and then the grand finale, their seminar day on April 9 at the Jamaica Conference Center. This was Small Biz, Big Dreams. Dream big.
Let's now turn to regional and international news. We begin with news in the region. In Barbados, many of those incarcerated at Dodds Prison come from poor households.
This message from UWI Professor Wayne Devonish, who has been offering some insights on how communities can tackle the issue of crime. Here's CBC News.
Growing up poor alone is not the predictor of crime, it's the association of other factors linked to poverty. Because even though I can say I grew up poor in Freehill Blackrock with my grandmother, there were still few others who had that particular condition of poverty. But guess what? They didn't have a grandmother who had particular morals and values about what to do and what not to do.
In international news, Greenland's politicians have condemned plans for high-profile U.S. visits in the wake of President Donald Trump's threats to take over the island. More from the BBC.
The Danish foreign minister just in the last 10 minutes has described this visit as inappropriate. In terms of the White House, what are they saying about the nature of this visit?
Well, first of all, the Second Lady, Usha Vance, even though it's a private visit,